How to be unstoppable. Have you ever felt that exhilarating rush? The feeling that you were on the very brink of achieving something magnificent, a dream you've chased for months or even years. You can almost taste the victory, see the finish line just ahead, and then, without warning, a wall materializes in your path. It's not just a hurdle, it's a colossal barrier that seems insurmountable. The project fails, the funding is pulled, the path forward vanishes. In that moment, the world seems to shrink, and the weight of disappointment is crushing, tempting you to turn back, to give up, to accept defeat as your final destination. But now, imagine a different reality. Imagine forging a new version of yourself. A person who sees that wall not as an end, but as a challenge to be dismantled, brick by brick. Picture yourself as someone who cannot be broken by failure, paralyzed by fear, or defeated by any obstacle life throws your way. This isn't about being invincible, it's about becoming truly unstoppable. An unstoppable individual doesn't ignore fear, they harness it as fuel. They don't avoid failure, they embrace it as the ultimate teacher, a compass pointing toward a better strategy. They view obstacles not as barriers, but as the very training ground where their strength and character are forged. This state of being isn't reserved for a chosen few, it is a mindset, a discipline, a set of principles that can be learned and cultivated. In this journey we're about to embark on, we will pull back the curtain and discover the foundational secrets of the truly resilient. We'll explore the mental frameworks of explorers who charted unknown territories, inventors who persevered through 1,000 failed experiments, and athletes who pushed beyond all conceivable limits. We will break down their methods, understand their psychology, and provide you with a practical blueprint. This is your guide to transforming setbacks into comebacks, and obstacles into opportunities. Together, we will learn how you can become one of them. We begin with the foundation upon which all great achievements are built. Secret number 1, know your goal clearly. This sounds simple, but it is the most profound and most frequently neglected step. An unstoppable person knows exactly why they do what they do. It's not just a vague desire for more, it's a crystal clear vision, a purpose that burns within them. This why is the bedrock of your resolve. It's the reason you'll get up when you're knocked down. It's the voice that will whisper, keep going, when the world is screaming at you to quit. Without a powerful why, any how will eventually become unbearable. A clear goal is like a compass in your soul. When the storms of life rage, when doubt and confusion create a fog so thick you can't see your own hands, that compass needle remains steady, pointing you toward your true north. It provides direction in chaos and certainty in uncertainty. Don't just say, I want to succeed. That is a wish, not a goal. Vagueness is the enemy of achievement. Be specific, be precise. Take that abstract desire from your mind and give it physical form. Write it down. I will build a software company that generates $1 million in revenue within 5 years. I will run a marathon in under 4 hours by this time next year. A goal that is not written down is merely a dream. When you write it, you make a contract with yourself. Put it where you can see it every single day. Let it be the first thing you see in the morning and the last thing you see at night. A mountain is climbed, not in one giant leap, but one deliberate step at a time. Break your grand vision into smaller, manageable milestones. What do you need to do this year, this month, this week, today? This process transforms an intimidating ambition into a series of achievable tasks, and with each completed task, you build momentum. You build belief, you become unstoppable. Secret number 2, turn failure into fuel. In a world obsessed with success, we are taught to fear failure. But the unstoppable mind understands a different truth. Failure is not the end, it is not a verdict on your worth, it is feedback on your method. It is the lesson that makes you stronger, smarter, and more resilient. The fear of falling is what keeps most people from ever attempting to climb. But the path to the summit is littered with slips and stumbles. Every single person you admire for their success has a history of failures they had to overcome. The difference between the triumphant and the forgotten is not whether they failed, but how they handled it. They don't internalize it as a personal flaw. Instead, they externalize it as a problem to be solved. They become detectives of their own mistakes. Ask the hard questions: why didn't this work? What was the variable I missed? What assumption was incorrect? What skill do I need to acquire? Instead of saying I failed, say I learned. This simple shift in language reframes the entire experience. I learned that this marketing approach doesn't work. I learned that I need more preparation. Each failure becomes a tuition payment for the school of mastery. It is the raw material from which success is forged. Secret number 3, discipline over motivation. Here is a truth that will liberate you. Motivation is a myth. It is a fleeting, unreliable emotion. It's a spark that might get you started, but it will never carry you to the finish line. Motivation is wanting to go to the gym. Discipline is going even when it's cold, dark, and you're tired. Motivation is feeling inspired to write your business plan. Discipline is writing one page every single day, whether you feel inspired or not. Unstoppable people do not wait for the mood to strike. They create the mood through action. Discipline is what keeps you going when the initial excitement has faded. It is the bridge between your goals and their accomplishment. It's about building a system, a set of non-negotiable habits that automates your success. Create a daily schedule and honor it as you would a promise to someone you respect. This is about the compound effect. Small, seemingly insignificant acts of discipline, repeated consistently over time, accumulate into an avalanche of progress. The victory is not in the grand gesture, but in the quiet, daily commitment. Discipline is a muscle. The more you exercise it on small things, the stronger it becomes for the big things. It is the silent engine that drives you forward when the winds of motivation have died down. Secret number 4, learn to bounce back fast. Setbacks are inevitable. You will get knocked down. The critical variable is not the fall, but your recovery time. The time you take to get back up after a setback determines how fast you reach success. Resilience isn't a passive trait you're born with. It's an active skill you cultivate. It's about the efficiency of your recovery. Many people, after a failure, allow themselves to wallow. They indulge in self-pity, blame, and rumination. But self-pity is a quicksand. It feels comforting for a moment, but it only pulls you deeper, consuming the very energy you need to move forward. Unstoppable people don't spend weeks feeling sorry for themselves. They get back up the same day. They have a system. Acknowledge the hit. Allow yourself a brief, measured moment to feel the sting. Then, analyze. Quickly extract the lesson, the data point you gained from the experience. And finally, the most crucial step, act. Immediately pivot your focus and energy to the next productive action. The world doesn't wait for you to feel better. Opportunity doesn't pause for your mourning period. By shortening your rebound time, you dramatically increase the number of attempts you can make, and you signal to yourself and the world that you will not be deterred. Secret number 5. Build a strong support network. The myth of the self-made man is just that, a myth. It's a romantic but dangerously flawed idea. No one makes it alone. Behind every unstoppable individual is a network of support, challenge, and accountability. Even the strongest people have support. Trying to achieve a great goal in isolation is like trying to lift a car by yourself. It's possible you might move it an inch, but you'll exhaust yourself in the process. With a team you can lift it with ease. You must be intentional about curating this circle. Surround yourself with friends who lift you up, not pull you down. Find people who are playing the game at a higher level than you. These are your mentors. Find people who are on the same path. These are your peers, your brothers in arms. They understand the struggle. Form a mastermind group, a council of trusted allies who hold you accountable, challenge your assumptions, and brainstorm solutions. And just as importantly, be a source of strength for others. Supporting others reinforces your own principles. Your network is your force multiplier. It provides perspective when you're lost, encouragement when you're weak, and celebration for your victories. And this leads to our final, crucial secret. Secret number 6. Invest in yourself every day. You are your greatest asset. Your body, your mind, your skills. This is the machinery that will build your empire. And like any high-performance machine, it requires constant maintenance, upgrades, and investment. This is non-negotiable. Read, learn, and try new things. Dedicate time each day to sharpening your saw. This investment breaks down into 3 key areas: your mind, your body, and your skills. Feed your mind with new ideas from books, podcasts, and courses. Fortify your body with proper nutrition, consistent exercise, and adequate sleep. Expand your skills by deliberately practicing your craft and pushing beyond your current capabilities. Aim to be 1% better every single day. This is the philosophy of continuous, incremental improvement. It doesn't sound like much, but the power is in the compounding. Improving by 1% daily means you are nearly 38 times better after 1 year. The results are not linear, they are exponential. A person who is stagnant is in reality moving backward because the world is moving forward. But a person who constantly improves, who dedicates themselves to lifelong learning and growth, becomes a force of nature. They become truly, undeniably unstoppable over time. Becoming unstoppable isn't a talent you're born with. It's a decision you make every single day. It's the quiet choice when the alarm rings before the sun, the commitment to take one more step when your body screams to stop. This isn't about grand gestures seen by the world, but the silent, unseen battles you win within yourself. It's the discipline to choose the difficult right over the easy wrong. So, the question isn't if you have what it takes, but if you will decide to. Decide today to start, not tomorrow. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one deliberate step. Decide to learn relentlessly. Absorb wisdom, but more importantly, learn from your own stumbles. Every failure is not a verdict. It's a lesson, the raw material from which you forge your strength. And most critically, decide to persist. The path to greatness is never a straight line. There will be storms and doubts. Persistence is your anchor, the unwavering voice that says, get up, go again. You persist until you arrive. And arriving isn't a final destination. It's the moment you look back and no longer recognize the person who was too afraid to start. It's realizing you've become the architect of your own destiny. If this message resonated with you, continue this journey with us. Subscribe and join a community committed to growth and resilience. Share this video with a friend, a brother, who needs to hear it today. Be the reinforcement he needs in his own battle. Let's build this community together. Your journey starts now.